Hello and welcome to Make It Yappen. I'm Bethany and this is Sian.
Hello.
Sian, do you have any life advice?
Don't give anyone the time of day that doesn't give a shit about you.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. What a good way to start this episode.
Absolutely. Bethany, any advice?
If it's sweaty, don't pet it. And if it's petty, don't sweat it, babe.
Love. Okay, let's get into it.
So today we want to talk about what it's like dating in your 20s from someone who is, one, married, not me, just to emphasise that.
Yeah.
It's not me who's married. And two, I guess a serial dater. I mean, no, I'm not too bad, actually. Like,
You've not been too bad.
I've had it
for a while. You had your moment, babe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think everyone's allowed the moment.
Absolutely.
In their 20s. I think that's forgivable.
That is supposed to be what it's for, to be honest.
To be unhinged
Yeah.
a little bit. But then realise that you really need to get your shit together.
Yeah.
I think the most freeing thing that I realised in my 20s, I say that like I'm 30 now, I'm not, I am still here.
We are in our mid to late 20s, just to, clarify.
Just to clarify, I'm not 30 yet, as much as I keep getting reminded by my better half that I will be soon, is that once you stop giving a shit about men's opinion, and I'm not just talking about men you find attractive, I'm talking about all men, like all their opinions about you, about like the way that you look, how you sound, how you dress, what weight you are, what you're into. As soon as you stop giving a shit about that, it is incredibly freeing, I have to say.
Yeah.
I don't think many women realise it, or many people realise it, but women are so conditioned to be performative for men.
Yes.
And then as soon as you stop doing that, life just becomes a lot nicer.
Absolutely. Because I think you start to live for yourself, what it is that you find enjoyable.
Yeah.
How good do you feel about yourself, just as you are.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, oh, well, I don't look like this person, I don't sound like that person.
Yeah.
I'm too masculine, or I'm too feminine, or whatever.
Yeah.
As soon as you start going, actually, I don't give much of a shit, and there are parts of me that are absolutely class, then you just start to kind of love yourself for who you are anyway.
Yeah.
And I think that's when maybe dating also becomes not easier, but
There's less pressure.
yeah.
I remember back in 2022, I think it was, or 2023, I'd like put in my, because I do this every year, I do New Year's resolutions, and I type it in my notes, and then like I reflect on it after the year's passed and been like, did I achieve the things I wanted to achieve? Actually, I think it was, what year are we in now?
2025.
2025.
Yeah, the year of our Lord.
It was 2024 actually, because it was after I'd spoken to Joss and I'd like put in my New Year's resolutions, like my notes page, go on one date every month or something like that.
Yeah, I remember you doing this.
And I was just like, when I looked back on it, I was like, I didn't actually need to do that.
No.
Like, I didn't enjoy dating. I found it very forced because, and especially forcing yourself to go on dates, it's so sapping of your energy. I mean, some people might really love it, but I see it as forced networking. It's self-forced networking, and I fucking hate networking.
Yeah.
As it is.
Yeah. It's a horrible thing that we have to do as an occupational hazard.
I know, it is. It's absolutely awful. I hate talking to people, like being made to talk to people. And you know what, I hate getting to know people forced. No, that's not true. I am very sociable, but I hate getting to know people in a forced manner.
Yeah, like it's like you have to do it. It's not like a natural thing that's happened where you're like, oh, this person's interesting.
Yeah.
And I want to find out about them. It's, oh, well, we've decided to go on a date because we were both on the same app at the same time.
Yeah, it's honestly,
it's very fast, isn't it?
I've seen hell and it's on Hinge. It is. I don't care what anyone says. Dating apps are, in fact, the devil.
Yeah.
Like, after coming off them, I just sort of said to myself, I'd gone through a period of like going through it and seeing what was out there, who was out there. It's not good. I mean, props to you if you managed to find the love of your life on there. I do know people who have They're getting married. They've had kids.
Really?
Yeah. I say people. It is just two people.
Right, okay,
And they are marrying each other.
Right. Okay.
And they've got a house together and a baby, and that's really lovely.
Wow.
But
that's rare, though, right?
Yeah. If you compare it to all of the other horror stories that are on Tinder or Hinge or even Bumble,
there's some horrifying tales that have been told in our friendship group about dating apps and how just horrifically horrible they are.
Yeah, exactly.
I was lucky in that I would never used a dating app.
Bless you. You are blessed.
I was on a dating app for literally 5 minutes before I met Jord, and it was the gay one, her. Yeah. And that was absolutely harrowing because obviously living in Paro, there's got to be like 5 lesbians.
And they've all dated each other.
And they've all dated each other, yeah. And you scroll through and you're done within 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Because, okay, that's it. That's small town life. So I deleted it and that was that. And then I ended up with a bloke anyway.
How does it feel to be God's favourite?
A lad. I feel like I'm going to sound like such a Mormon in this episode or something because I met Jord at 18 and then we went to university together. Well, not together, but like not different universities.
Different unis, yeah.
We remained together. And then, like got engaged at, what was I? Like 23, 24, something like that. And then married at 25.
Child bride,
mate. Child bride.
You never hear of that anymore,
I feel like we've been trafficked somehow. We've trafficked each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's worked out for the best, though. 100%.
I'm glad that I didn't have to go through the trenches.
Oh, yeah.
Because
it's not great out there.
I genuinely believe that because of the way that I was before I met him, I really wasn't interested. Even as a teenager, I was not interested really in dating.
At all?
No. Yeah, I mean, I had crushes.
Yeah.
Of course I did.
Yeah, you're only
human. I wasn't interested in anybody else except myself. And I know that sounds really self-centered. Maybe I was, I don't know. But I was I was just very focused on me. I wanted to be that career girly.
Yeah.
And I just didn't give a shit. And I think it's because, as well, and it's true, and I don't care who doesn't think it's true, it's absolutely true, women mature faster than men.
Yeah, they do.
They, especially when you're a teenager, as a girl, you notice how far behind intellectually that teenage boys are.
No, that is true, yeah.
Because they just are. They're just very hormonal, weird little balls of creep. Do you know what I mean? So I just wasn't bothered. They weren't into the same things that I was into. And, I wasn't really thinking about dating women at that stage anyway.
Yeah.
That came a bit later.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know, I just wasn't into it. I wasn't interested in what college I was going to. I was interested in what uni I was going to.
Yeah.
I was very,
interested in your life.
My life as it was going to go.
Yeah.
I wasn't interested in dragging someone else into my life.
Yeah.
I was happy with my life.
I was happy.
And it happened to me. Not because I looked for it. I really didn't look for it. I wasn't bothered.
I think that is when relationships happen, though, or when they should happen. Because I think, you can, desperately search for somebody. But if you're desperately, searching for somebody, you are not ready for a relationship. I don't care what anybody says.
You're right.
You're not ready.
If you think that somebody else is going to complete something that's missing in your life, you are so viciously wrong.
Yeah.
It should be the case of you feel complete in yourself, you're happy with yourself and where you're going and what you're doing. And if somebody comes into your life that adds something to it, perfect.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't be completing something that's missing.
Exactly. I also feel like every boyfriend I've ever had, and I can say this hand on heart, every boyfriend I've ever had is I've met through friends or a natural setting.
Yeah.
I have never forced a connection. And even better, this, Joss, who I'm going out with now, I was so happy I've said this to you, I was so happy being on my own that when we got together, I was annoyed because I was like, I really like this person, but I was so happy on my own. And we, got together, as if it was the 90s, in a bar.
Out of the blue, wasn't it?
Yeah, out of the blue, through friends, in a bar. You never hear of that anymore.
No, you don't. It just doesn't happen anymore.
No.
And not to sound like an actual boomer, but like this, I feel like screen time is a problem.
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
because I feel like we just go out less. We do less stuff. People, I mean, in the 90s, people used to go like book clubs and shit. Like, who does that? Who does that now?
Nerds.
Yeah, and good on them.
Yeah,
doing it right. But the rest of us don't.
No.
And it's very like I don't know. Everything's just kind of online.
Yeah.
Or if you're going out, it's because you're battered.
Yeah, and you're missing that like real human connection. I felt like such a piece of me when I was on dating apps because people look at you like you're just that digital thing on a screen. Not that you're like a real human being with real feelings that doesn't like when, you know, they're being objectified within an inch of their life. Like, yes, I get it, I've got massive boobs, but when you're like the umpteenth person who said that, like, I know.
I'm so aware of it, lad.
I'm so aware, painfully aware. But that isn't all me. But that's all they see, because that's... It doesn't matter if I put stuff about my personality or...
It's essentially shopping for the perfect human being, right? And, like, that's just not how life works.
Yeah, exactly. But then, saying that, I was going to ask you, actually, it was something that I thought of on the way over here.
Yeah.
Since you've been married...
Yeah.
Do you still get hit on?
It's very rare.
And do people respect the fact that you're married as well?
No. Well, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I've never had one lass that's hit on me and then been like, oh, you're married? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. I'm flattered. You know, very kind of you, mate. But, yeah, I am.
Exactly, yeah.
But no, it's blokes. I'm aggressive about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm married. And they're like, and?
Yeah.
What?
Because I feel like in maybe like 10 years' time, I know this is supposed to be about dating in your 20s, but I had a feeling about like being married in your 30s or your 40s or whatever, and when everybody gets married and everybody maybe looks around at some point and goes,
oh, fuck.
Yeah.
What have I done?
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people who are getting married, they are married, they want to get married.
Yeah.
There's no rush.
I think the big important thing to say, and Christ, coming from someone that has married young as well, it's just sounds hypocritical, but it's not. Marriage is not a measure of success.
No.
It shouldn't be a benchmark that you use to aspire to.
No, I don't think so.
It's not like it shouldn't be a goal for you. The goal should be having a fulfilling relationship.
Yeah.
The status of that relationship doesn't need to change because it doesn't actually mean anything.
Yeah.
Me and Jord were married, in quotes.
Yeah.
Like, way before we actually got married.
Yeah.
Because we'd been together, like, I don't know, what was it, like 7 years by the time we got married?
Yeah, it was 7 years by the time we got married.
And we'd lived together for 5.
Yeah.
So, it really didn't change how close we were. Or at least it didn't change what the relationship means to us both, anyway.
Yeah.
I think we thought that marriage wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah.
And it did, actually, because it's a very romantic thing to do, and we did it for that reason. We did it to celebrate what we already had.
Yeah.
It wasn't to solidify anything.
No. I think when you're married... celebration. Yeah, when you're married for that reason, you're marrying for the wrong reason.
I think it's just incredibly important that you already have a marriage with your partner before you get married.
Yeah.
Because the wedding to us was just... It was a piss up, mate. It was like it was a celebration. We had everybody that we loved there. It was a piss up.
It was a great do. I have to say, it was a fantastic do,
and it was good. We loved it. And we were just like, yeah, cool. Let's have a party and get dressed up for it.
Yeah,
perfect. Yeah. And then you go on honeymoon and you celebrate. And that's all it was. It ended up bringing us like even closer together, which I didn't think was possible. So that was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't want people to think that, I need to be married by 30. I feel like that's a really big thing that a lot of women have, I think.
Yeah, they don't feel accomplished if they're not married by 30.
Yeah, and they feel like over the hill by the time they're 30, and I'm like, whoa, hang on. Life expectancy is like 80 or something, isn't it?
Yeah, give or take a few years.
So I'm like, lad, don't worry about it. Get married when you're 60. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Enjoy your life, whatever that looks like.
Exactly, yeah. There is more to life than, I think, getting married.
There absolutely is. It happened to be right for me and George.
Yeah, I think definitely when I heard that you two were getting married, it's definitely, for me, one of the times where I've been like, yes, this is absolutely the right decision.
Yeah.
Really happy for both of them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Do you think it's necessary to have a slut phase in your 20s?
Right, I shouldn't say this because I didn't. But yeah.
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 Do you think I think it might be different from person to person.
Yeah. I think as a general rule.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. It's probably necessary.
Yeah.
I think because your 20s is supposed to be when you find yourself... Oh, shit. Your
20s, in the joint.
Oops. Your 20s is supposed to be when you do a lot of exploration and find out who you are.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people don't work out their own preferences, like sexual preferences, until their 20s.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think as a general rule it is important for people to do that. It was only different for me because I was very sure of myself growing up. Like, I grew up in a very open household where we would discuss like how people were, and my mum and dad always said to me, it doesn't matter who you bring home as long as you're happy.
Yeah, as it should be.
And I was raised like that, and I was very grateful for that. So I was always very sure of myself, and I was more interested in exploring academics at the time. Christ, that's well gone now, so that. I don't know, I was more interested in various parts of my own development, not really. I wasn't bothered if I had a partner or not.
Yeah.
I was more than happy to be alone. Yeah. So I didn't feel the need to explore. I didn't have that urge like most people do. Yeah. So it was fine for me because when I found Jord, it was the perfect person. Yes. Yeah. So I didn't feel the need to explore beyond that. And I still don't. I'm not bothered. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I think, I don't know, as a rule, yeah. Yeah. I think you find out a lot about yourself when you have your slut era. I think you do. Yeah, I think it's always good to have a bit of a slut era, like, or at least an experimental era, if you want to call it that, or something where you're doing it for you. What you've not got to fall into the trap of, though, is doing it for validation. Yeah, it's very thin line, right? It's a very thin line. Like, do it for fun, don't do it for validation. I think when you're doing that, I think especially women don't realise how easy it is for a man to tell you anything you want to hear in order to get you to bed. If you want to sleep with them, that's totally fine. There is no judgment, especially coming from us, like, at all. Oh, no, absolutely not. Like, do whatever you want. Yeah, exactly. But what you've not got to do is think, he's bought me this, he said that, he's promised me heaven and earth, and think it'll stick around, because he fucking won't. Come on. He absolutely won't. He will give you everything and tell you anything. He'll tell you anything that you think that he thinks that you want to hear. Yeah. And he's probably right as well, which is annoying. Yeah. And he'll say the perfect thing and then scram. Yeah. Scram immediately after it, like, he's done what he needs to do. So, a smash and dash, as Boone and Shan would say. Yes, a smash and dash, absolutely correct. And it's them's are the ones you've got to keep your eye out for and just be wary of. Yeah, because and they exist on Tinder and that's where they lurk. Hinge. That's where they live. They do. You look at them and you think, oh, this wonderful man. Why? Yeah. Why? How has he not got a girlfriend? And then you find out. Oh, that'll be why then. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's that age-old saying of, you can kiss 100 boys in bars. Shoot another shot, try and stop the feeling. Oh my God. I assume that there's plenty of women that do it as well. Obviously, we don't know coming from the other side.
Well, no.
I imagine that there is, though.
Honestly, I respect the hustle if a woman can do it. I mean, to be honest, a woman doesn't need to do it if they're straight, obviously, because men are just
men are just there, aren't they? They're just kind of ready a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But I think if you're open and honest and clear about what it is that you're up to, as in, I'm gonna smash and do one. So are you up for that? Perfect. Do you know what I mean?
That is fine.
That is agreeable. That is something that you agreed to. Great. You two have fun. Yeah. However, if you are one of these people that's like really putting a shift in, telling someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with them or whatever the fuck, and then you smash and then do one. Yeah. You are a snake, mate. You're a fucking snake. Stop being weird and just tell them what you want to do.
But you know what? It's the game, though, isn't it? It's like, you've got to make the woman slightly fall in love with you.
Why?
And then fuck off.
No.
Because it's sadistic.
It's fucking weird.
Maybe they get off on women's pain.
Is it like an ego boost? Like, I got someone to fall in love with me, but I didn't want them?
Maybe there's something just clinically wrong with them because they're a man.
Potentially.
You know.
It's always an option.
This is the thing, like, I mean, there is definitely people that we know of that are, they're tall, dark, handsome, whatever.
Yeah. The usual tower reading.
Yeah. And you look at them and you're just like, why don't you have a partner? And it's because they do stuff like this, but they're happy doing it.
Yeah, like, they don't want one.
They could have a partner, and that's totally fine. But it's that thing of like, I don't know, like own the fact that you want to just smash and dash.
Yeah, just say it.
There's no shame in it. But I think it's that thing of they know the shame that comes with being a woman. And admitting that that's what you want to do. So it's like this game of like, we can pretend that we're kind of seeing each other, but it's just sex.
Yeah.
I
wish that people would be less shameful about it, though. Yeah. The only reason that there is shame around it is because we just keep perpetuating it.
Yeah, there is literally nothing wrong with sleeping with somebody and then never talking to them again.
Yeah, fist bumping and walking out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. As if it's respectful, boundaries are agreed.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
So just be open and honest about it, I think, because this is where God.
And this goes for women too, actually, as well, because women, I think, try and play along with the whole thing of, that's not me. I'm not easy like that. There's nothing wrong with being easy. I say this in quotation marks.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with just wanting sex.
You're allowed to. You're a person.
Yeah, you've got needs.
You're a human being. We all are. But just be real about it.
Yeah. The thing is, it's really sad, isn't it? Because I think women go, especially on apps, like I'm thinking in the world of apps, but women tend to sort of say, I don't know what I'm looking for, so that they don't appear too forward. Inputting, it's mostly men off. I can't really comment on LGBTQ plus relationships. That's not my field of knowledge. That's yours.
Yeah, my limited field. Yeah.
But I think they try and like be coy about it because they don't want to put a guy off by saying, actually, yeah, I fancy a long term relationship. I'm in a good place, because men go, commitment.
Yeah.
Which I do get, and that's why I think as well that apps a lot of the time just don't work unless you've got two people who are painfully honest with each other.
Yeah.
Who meet. Because God, like, I was terrible at one point in terms of that I'd speak to guys and then they'd say something, or I'd take a small break from speaking to them, and then I just would just get rid of them. Yeah. Just block them and never speak to them again.
Oh God, you ghoster.
Oh, I just couldn't do it because it was just so forced, and people, you can tell people who have never used dating apps either because they go, oh, that's terrible. But like when you're in that environment, it becomes the norm, and it kind of becomes gamified as well.
Oh God. This is why I was never cut out for this world, mate. I would have just passed away.
No, the streets are not for the weak, I have to say. Honestly. No. But, I mean, saying that, like, if I hadn't have met Joss, I wouldn't be with anyone. I know that's really easy to say, but, like...
No, I think you were quite content just...
Yeah, I was!
Doing the same work, yeah. Sorry, Joss.
Sorry, Joss. I really do love you, I promise. Making it sound like it's an inconvenience for a relationship. It's not. It's really, really good. It's the best one I've ever been in.
Yeah, it's really sweet, actually, because, like... Even though I know you were, like, entering it, and I was really proud of you because you'd been through the ringer previously.
Yeah, I'd say so.
In terms of dating, and...
Not the best at picking, I have
no,
to say.
babe, you've got an acquired taste, let's say that.
That was polite.
It was very polite. And I think that because you were just entering into the era that I used to be in.
Yeah.
And you were like, I literally couldn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
If I'm alone forever, I'm just happy being me.
Yeah.
And enjoying myself. I've got a social life. I'm doing my job. Like, I've got my job.
Yeah.
You know, and you were killing it.
Yeah.
But it was just really nice that once you'd reached that sort of level, it just happened organically.
Yeah.
And it was also the right one.
It was, yeah. And, like, me and Joss spent the first month, like, we saw each other on New Year. He walked me home and he kissed me at the door, and that was just really sweet.
My front door, by the way.
Yeah. My
front door. And I was, like, desperate to look out the blinds. Yeah. Go, what are they doing? So I was like, leave them alone.
And, like, after that, I didn't see him for a month. I'd come back here, there was parties and stuff, but our schedules just hadn't aligned. I was in Leeds.
Yeah.
And then we saw each other after a month. We went on, like, a friend date. Like, Becca was chaperoning us.
Oh, God. Really?
Yeah. Like, so I'd gone to the meeting place, and Rob had one of his events on.
Mm-hmm.
And Becca was like, why don't you come with, like, me and Stephen are here. And Joss is here, and it'll be like a friend date, so then it's not too awkward. And then basically, if it doesn't work, I can still speak to you and he can still speak to Stephen. It's all fine. But we'd been speaking for like a month non-stop.
Yeah.
And we got there, and at first it was like a little bit awkward because obviously it is. And I was like, hello.
I hate that awkwardness in the beginning.
I know, it's sweet, but it's also awful. And then literally about like half an hour of being there, I was speaking to Becca at first, and by like half an hour had gone by, and I ended up just speaking to Joss throughout the entire night, and Becca just kept looking over and being like, so how's it going?
Fine, thanks.
Fine, thanks. Piss off. But yeah, like, if it wasn't Joss, it wouldn't be anybody.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, when you get to a point where you're just like, oh my God, I just do not give a shit what men think. I really do not care if they live or die.
Yeah, I fucking love my life.
Yeah, it's dead good. I'm doing all my own things. Oh my God, I got really into cooking and writing and...
Yeah.
You know, like, I listen to loads of music.
You're nurturing all the stuff that you love doing.
Yeah.
With absolutely no compromise whatsoever.
It was great. It was so much fun being selfish with my time. And this is what I don't understand. Like, there's people who they yearn for companionship. And I get it. Because
I understand that.
Because I'm very fortunate that I have a very enriching friend group. Like, we both do. We're in the same friendship group. It's very enriching. It fills a lot of those things that a relationship can also fill.
Yeah.
So, like, going to social events, going on holidays,
you
know, sharing interests, talking to having someone to talk to and bounce off of.
Yeah.
It did all of those things.
We're also, like, I think it's important to note as well in our friendship group, we're also, like, affectionate with each other. Like, we tell each other we love each other and stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's just a lot of nurturing. And it's hard to find a friendship group like that.
It is, yeah.
There's a lot of nurturing in this friendship group, and that's why I love it so much.
Yeah.
And I love all of our friends for, like, totally different reasons. Everyone brings something, like, new to the table as well, which is dead nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of things to bounce off of, isn't it?
Yeah, but it is the perfect environment in which to begin to love yourself.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Like, without needing
a
partner to kind of fix that.
100%. But this is the thing, like, I have this friendship group, and granted, that was probably a lot of the reason why I felt very fulfilled. I understand if maybe you don't have that kind of environment, it's a lot more difficult. But I had you guys for, like, affection and talking and all of these things. But then I also had, like, my alone time, which I could do anything with. And when you lean into that and you realise, oh my God, I don't have anyone to tell me what to do, no dependence, like, at all from anybody.
Yeah.
I just get to do my own shit. I can, I can cook this amazing meal for myself, and then I can watch whatever I want to watch on TV, and I don't have to answer anyone. I can go to bed whenever I want. I can stay up. I can drink alcohol. I can, have a nice glass of wine for myself, like, or get high and eat a shitload of food, like, it's,
yes,
without
anyone going, oh God, you're not doing that on a skill night, are you? Oh, but what about this? And do you want to watch that? And no. Do you know what? No. If I wanted to do those things, I'd have fucking done it. Shut up. Love you, Dad.
Well, this is it, like, and I don't understand how people now if you're single and you're painfully single.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think, shit, I can do all of those things. And life is sick. Like, life is not meant to be a punishment.
No.
You're supposed to enjoy it. So, like, do the things that you enjoy. I mean, now, I got into, like, all sorts of, like, little routines when I was single that I can't live without now. So, like, one of the nights, I say to Joss, I want one night off a week, which sounds really, really bad. But basically what it means is that I want one night, right? This is what I like doing.
Yeah.
I come home, I eat tea, I still live with my parents, which is very sad. I'll be buying a house this year, but until then.
Not long, mate.
Not long. We're counting down the hours.
I'm sure they are as well.
Yeah, they are.
Get out of there then.
But, like, I'll come home, I'll eat tea, or if I was living on my own, I'd cook myself something, like, really nourishing.
Yeah.
I'd then, like, light some candles and some incense. I'd take off all my makeup and get my lenses out, because horrible. And, like, wash my face and do, like, skincare, and I'd put a face mask on, and I'd make a cup of CBD tea as well, and maybe whack a CBD patch on as well.
Yeah,
so I was, like, super chilled out. So I've got, like, all these scents going on. I'd climb into bed, and I'd just play Skyrim.
Yes.
And one night where I do that, or like a really immersive action-adventure game,
God, that's delightful.
It's just really good. Yeah.
Oh.
And I said to Joss, I said, I need to do that one night a week so that I can just be a person.
Yeah, it's that little section of the world that's just yours.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think everybody should do that. I mean, me and Jod do sometimes do that, and he'll sit with me when I'm doing that, and he'll be like, why don't you play Spiritfarer tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, I've started playing Dreamlight Valley.
It's good, isn't it?
Oh, it's class.
It's really good.
Oh, I can see it becoming an issue already.
Yeah. There's another one as well, I hate to tell you. There's like an...
Is there?
Yeah, there is. Yeah. I need to buy it.
No.
It's really fantastic, because it's just a very chill...
Delightful
game. There's no pressure.
There's no, like, do you know what I hate more than anything? Stop putting clocks on games. Stop putting fucking timers on them. Leave me be. Let me do it in my time. I hate it.
Oh,
fucking let me mince about in this game.
See, as someone who likes side quests in real life, the pair of us.
Yes.
That's all I'm doing on games. On Skyrim, I've put in probably like over 500 hours. I've not even joined, like, the main things, like, the main team. So there's Stormcloaks and the Legion. Is it the Legion? Oh, no, not the Legion, Jesus. Imperials. I think someone's going to listen to this and be like, oh, my God, this fucking noob. Sorry.
Have you even played
Skyrim? Yeah, I've played over 500 hours and I've not fucking joined either of them. That's, like, the main thing you're supposed to do. The main thing.
So you're not actually playing the game, we're just
I'm just dungeon raiding. It's just so much fun. It's so much fun.
That is a very us thing to do.
Yeah, I'm not interested in the main quest line. I'm doing whatever the fuck I want, thank you very much.
Yeah, just let me be.
Yeah, leave me alone.
I'm just, a 27-year-old teenage girl. Just fucking leave me alone.
Oh my God. How did we get onto this? We were talking about dating.
But having your own space within that relationship is still very...
very important. I try and give that to Joss, and he tries to give that to me. And honestly, I think it does make relationships work, because it's that thing again of people want to be in a relationship so bad, but they don't know why, and it's probably just because they're looking for companionship. or somebody where they want to do everything together, and life isn't about that. You are a person.
Yeah, exactly.
You're your own individual person, and you should have your own individual interests, your own individual wants, needs, goals as well.
Yeah, incredibly important.
That's so important. So, like, and another person can't give you those. And if they do, you're boring. And you need to work on that.
Sort it out. Yeah, I think maintaining your own... I think it's also very easy that even if you are, like, a fully rounded person...
Yeah.
And you've got your own likes and stuff, prior to getting into a relationship, it still can be very easy over a long period of time that you start to lose your own interests.
Yes.
It just kind of can naturally just happen that way. Especially if you're a nurturer yourself.
Yeah.
And you end up nurturing the other person's interests and stuff, and then you stop giving yourself the time.
Yeah.
And through absolutely no fault of George, I've done that. I stopped doing a lot of the stuff that I used to do years ago. Like, I was an avid reader.
Yeah.
I've not read in years. But this year, towards the end of last year, started reading again. George bought me a book series.
Oh,
and was like,
that's nice.
Please do it. Please just get back into it.
I think valuing yourself above finding that perfect person is so important, because when you do know yourself, you will find that perfect person. They'll just fall into your lap. You know?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I think there's a big lesson in there. So dating in your 20s, absolute hellhole. Do it. Go through it. But
learn.
Learn.
Everything is a lesson.
Everything's a lesson. However, know who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
And look after yourself first and foremost.
Yeah. Stand on business for yourself.
Yes. Absolutely.
This yappening has indeed come to an end.
Yes.
And we shall see you
in the next episode.
In the next episode, yeah. Whatever that may be.
Absolutely.
Because we've not thought of it yet.
No. We'll come back to you. Okay, love you, bye.
Love you, bye. We'd just like to say thank you to the band Vocust, who happen to be great friends of ours, for allowing us to use their music for our theme tune, and our brilliant mate Becca for designing our logo.
Also, a big thank you to our producer, my lovely husband Jordan, for spending many hours recording, editing and mixing the podcast for us. All their socials are in our bio. We'll see you all on the next episode.